and welcome to Mrs. G Makes. It's time for another crafty tutorial, and for today's tutorial I'm going to be showing you how to make these pendulum earrings. These are made using agate nuggets which have been placed on gold-plated chain. I bought these nuggets from a crafting television, one of those television sales channels, and this is what they were like when I purchased them. You don't particularly have to use these types of nuggets. You can use any sort of round or square shaped stone or bead. It will work exactly the same, but this is how I got these when they arrived. And I will put in the description box details of the various places where I purchase my materials for jewelry making. So what you will need to make these are your nuggets or bead of choice. You will need some chain, either gold or silver, just something to contrast the beads that you are using. I've cut these out to be 2 inches in length, which would be 5 centimeters, but you can cut them shorter or longer depending on your personal preference. You will need two ear wires, 2 head pins. You'll also need 4 seed beads, which look like this. So closer. These are optional depending on the size of the holes in the beads that you are using. These holes are quite big, so this just helps the pins to stay in place and reduce the chance of them slipping through the hole. And it also adds a nice touch to the final look as well. And you will also need jump rings as well. These are again optional. On the sample that I showed you, I haven't used jump rings, but using jump rings just makes it easier with this particular type of chain, because it's harder to open up the links and connect them to the item you want to connect them to and then close them up again. So it's easier using a jump ring to attach them, and you will need 2 of those if you are going to use them. Apologies for any background noise. I'm in the Triple Arter's playroom where the boiler is, so that's just buzzing in the background. And also Little Miss is in the living room sleeping, so you might hear her snoring a little now and then. All right, let's move on to the actual making. Now you will see that these earrings are extremely easy to make, and the principle can be used for all sorts of jewelry. It's the same principle that you will use. So we'll take the head pin and first of all feed one of the seed beads onto it, and then one of the nuggets or whatever bead you are using, and then you will place another seed bead on top. Once you've done that, oh, I forgot to mention, you will also need some pliers and a cutter as well. I've just used these. These are what I've had for many years, and as jewelry making isn't something that I do very often, I haven't upgraded these, but yeah, something like this will be fine to use. Okay, so you take your pliers, and then starting at the top where the seed bead is, you bend then you take your cutter, and then what I like to do is just use my fingers to gauge how long to leave this section of the head pin. So I'll just put my finger and thumb where the seed bead is, and then place the cutter just above where my finger and thumb are, and then I'll snip this off. And this is what I have left. So this, I would say, is about right. Sometimes I might even leave less than this, but this will be fine for now. Once that's done, take the pliers, and then holding the bead firmly, keeping the head pin still, probably from, I would say, the center of the pliers and the edge of the head pin, just roll it around once and then stop till you get this, and then go back again. This time you can see I'm in the center of the small loop that we've made, and then turn it round again until you get this. And then you can just knit it up however you like. Right, once you've done that, go back to it and just open it up slightly by twisting it towards yourself. Then get your chain. Sorry if this is going out of focus. Get your chain and slide the first link onto this loop we just made with the head pin. Then take your pliers and close it up again. And if it gets bent out of shape, you can just use the pliers to straighten it up. And that's the first part done. As you can see, you've still got a big loop there, so we could have made it slightly smaller. So if you want something that's a bit smaller, you can cut it a little shorter. Now take the jump ring. As you can see, I've opened it up slightly, and then pick up the chain and then feed the jump ring into the top link on the chain. Once that's done, take one of your ear wires and feed that through also, preferably without dropping it. Okay, and then close up the jump ring. Apologies if this keeps going out of focus. Okay, there. This particular jump ring isn't extremely strong, so I'm able to use my hand to close it up. But I do have my other set of pliers here if needed. So you can do that with 1 or 2 pliers depending on how strong your jump ring is. Okay, so there we have it. That's the first earring done. Just trying for that to get into focus. So you can see this is extremely simple to do. That was done, I would say, in no time at all. And then you just do the same thing with the second earring. Take your head pin, place the seed bead on, place the nugget or bead that you're going to be using, take the other seed bead, thread it onto the head pin. Okay, holding the head pin and the bead in place, take your pliers and starting from the end where the seed bead was added on, just bend it, and then using your fingers and thumb, hold it in place just above the seed bead, and then rest your cutters just above your finger and thumb and just cut there. As you can see, this looks, I think, slightly smaller than the other one I did. Then take your pliers, going from about the center of the pliers and from the end of the head pin that you just cut, bend it forward and then go back again, this time from the middle of the head pin you just bent, and bend that further. Yes, this one was a bit shorter. There. If you need to adjust it again, you can. And then open it up a little. Thread your chain onto it and then close it up. And this would be easier if I were to use the second set of pliers. There we go. So that's done. Then take the jump ring, feed it onto the chain. Take the last ear wire, feed this onto the jump ring. I think this time I will use the 2 pliers together. So hold one end here, hold one end there, and wait for it to get into focus if it can. Okay, I don't think it will, so we'll just continue. So wait for it, hold it at the end and close that together. And there you have the second earring done. So you can see in a matter of a few minutes, you have a pair of earrings. And as I said, this can be done with any type of bead or nugget or stone. It is a very simple set of earrings that I think will look very unique and very flattering and will have heads turning. So I will put links in the description box for places you can get materials to make jewelry. I hope you have enjoyed this tutorial. Please do check out my other tutorials for crocheted jewelry and also for recipes, and also check out the That's So You podcast. Have a great time making. Bye.